Okay, so my dad was telling me earlier how he was watching this movie from the early 60s, all right? And I don't remember what the movie was about, but basically, the moral of the story was that nukes, nuclear weapons are bad, and that people shouldn't use nuclear weapons. Well, I had no idea. And in all this time, I thought nukes were good. You, you know what? Now that I've heard this earth-shattering revelation, this glorious message, all right, I'll tell you what. I'm gonna get into my fucking Impala, all right? I'm gonna drive down to the White House. I'm gonna be like, "Hey, what's up, Donald, old buddy, old pal, old chum, old comrade, amigo? I'm taking all the fucking nukes." And then I drive across the Atlantic over to Putin's palace or wherever the fuck he lives and be like, "Hey, what's up, Putin? Put your shirt back on. Nobody wants to see that. I'm taking all the fucking nukes." And then, once I've gathered all the world's nuclear weapons and I load them up into the back of my car and I take those suckers and I throw those bad boys right in the recycling bin. That's what I do. All right? Is that what they expect me to do? The shitheads who made this movie in the 60s? Like, you know what? It's a good message, all right? People shouldn't use nukes. I had a couple of hydrogen bombs just, sitting around here and they expire in a couple of days. They're those cheap clearance ones I got from Target, all right? And I was like, you know what? The neighbors, all right, been playing their music a little too loud, nuked, all right? You know what? I was on the highway earlier, traffic was real bad, they were doing construction, nuked. Yeah, it happens, all right? It happens. You got nowadays, all right? You got like people just tossing nukes everywhere. I went to the grocery store the other day. Old lady just whips out a czar bomb and just completely flattens an entire city over there. The produce section, all gone. All right. I was driving by, all right, a kindergarten earlier, and these two kids were arguing over like a football, and one of them got upset, and he took the fat man atom bomb and he just deleted that other kid. All right, you know it's a rough world out there. All these people running around with nukes now. All right, you know what? The moral of this story, all right? If you happen to just if you happen to have those nukes sitting around in your closet from Christmas, all right? You know, you didn't use all your nukes from the 4th of July. You just got them sitting around. Don't be using them on other people, all right? Nukes are bad, according to this movie from the 60s, all right? You don't want to be using nukes, all right? If there's ever a nuclear war, it's all your fault because you didn't heed the message of this one movie, all right? Because you're sitting around at your house and suddenly nuclear winter happens, and you know what? It was easily preventable, It was you could have just not you I don't I don't know what the fuck they expect me to do. Like, don't be using nukes. Nuclear weapons are bad and they lead to the destruction of mankind. Oh, really? You think? You think so? Oh, no kidding. Kim Jong Un should see this movie, alright? I'll take it over there personally. I'll go to his brutalist palace in North Korea, and I'll gather him and all his friends around, and I'll show him this movie. And by the end, by God, there won't be a dry eye in the house, and he'll be like, "Ah, I just all this time I thought nukes were gonna help people. I had no idea." And I'll just be like, "Well, should have watched the movie sooner. You would have known that nukes were no good."